Have you ever wondered how your body gets the energy it needs to keep going? Or how you can breathe in fresh air and let out waste gases without even thinking about it? Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of breathing and the exchange of gases. Let's explore how our bodies work to keep us alive and healthy. Let's start with the basics of breathing. Oxygen utilization. Organisms use oxygen to break down glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids to derive energy for various activities. Carbon dioxide release. CO2 produced during catabolic reactions must be continuously removed from cells as it can be harmful. Gas exchange process. Breathing, respiration, is the process of exchanging oxygen from the atmosphere with carbon dioxide produced by cells. When you place your hands on your chest, you can feel it moving up and down due to breathing. This rhythmic process ensures a constant supply of oxygen to cells while removing waste carbon dioxide, maintaining the delicate balance necessary for cellular function. Let's take a look at various respiratory organs in different organisms. Lower invertebrates like sponges, coelentrates, flatworms, exchange O2 with CO2 by simple diffusion over their entire body surface. Earthworms use their moist cuticle for respiration. Insects have a network of tubes called tracheal tubes to transport atmospheric air within the body. Fishes use gills for respiration, which are specialized organs that extract oxygen from water. Amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals respire through lungs, though their structure and complexity vary across species. Frogs, amphibians, can also respire through their moist skin, cutaneous respiration, allowing gas exchange directly through the skin surface. Now we know how different organisms respire. Let's talk about the human respiratory system. Let's take a look at various components in it. Nasal passage. External nostrils open above the upper lips, leading to a nasal chamber through the nasal passage. Pharynx and larynx. The nasal chamber opens into the pharynx, which connects to the larynx, sound box. The epiglottis prevents food from entering the larynx during swallowing. Trachea and bronchi. The trachea extends to the mid-thoracic cavity, dividing at the fifth thoracic vertebra into right and left primary bronchi. Bronchioles and alveoli. Bronchi divide repeatedly into smaller bronchioles, ending in thin terminal bronchioles that connect to vascularized alveoli. Pleural membranes. Our two lungs are covered by double-aired pleura with pleural fluid between them, reducing friction on the lung surface. The outer pleural membrane contacts the thoracic lining, while the inner membrane touches the lung surface. Thoracic chamber. The thoracic chamber is an airtight compartment formed by the vertebral column, dorsal, sternum, ventral, ribs, lateral, and the dome-shaped diaphragm, lower side. What are the conducting and respiratory parts of our respiratory system? Conducting part. The conducting part transports atmospheric air to the alveoli, clears it from foreign particles, humidifies, and also brings the air to body temperature. Exchange part. The exchange part is the site of actual diffusion of O2 and CO2 between blood and atmospheric air. So, what are the steps of respiration? The first step is pulmonary ventilation. Breathing process by which atmospheric air is drawn in and CO2-rich alveolar air is released out. Then alveolar gas exchange takes place. Diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide across the alveolar membrane between air and blood. After that, the gas transport takes place. Oxygen and carbon dioxide are transported by the blood throughout the body. This is followed by the tissue gas exchange. Diffusion of O2 and CO2 between blood and tissues at the cellular level. At the end, cellular respiration happens where utilization of oxygen by cells for catabolic reactions, and the resultant release of carbon dioxide. Now let's study the mechanism of breathing. A healthy human breathes 12 to 16 times per minute. We can increase the strength of both inspiration and expiration using additional abdominal muscles. The volume of air involved in breathing can be measured using a spirometer, which helps in clinical assessment of pulmonary functions. How does the breathing start? It starts with inspiration process. During inspiration, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward while external intercostal muscles contract to lift the ribs and sternum. This increases thoracic volume, decreasing intrapulmonary pressure below atmospheric pressure, which forces air into the lungs. Expiration process. During expiration, the diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax, returning to their normal positions. This reduces thoracic and pulmonary volume, increasing intrapulmonary pressure above atmospheric pressure and causing air to be expelled from the lungs. Let's take a look at various respiratory volumes and capacities. Tidal volume, TV, is the volume of air inspired or expired during normal respiration. On average, this is about 500 ml. Next up, we have the inspiratory reserve volume, IRV, which is the additional volume of air a person can inspire by forcible inspiration. This volume ranges from 2500 to 3000 ml. Then, there's the expiratory reserve volume, ERV, which is the additional volume of air a person can expire by forcible expiration, averaging between 1000 to 1100 ml. Now, let's explore more respiratory volumes. The residual volume, RV, is the volume of air remaining in the lungs even after a forced expiration, averaging 1100 to 1200 ml. Moving on, we have the inspiratory capacity, IC, which is the sum of TV and IRV and about 3000 to 3500 ml. On the other hand, expiratory capacity, EC, combines TV and ERV and is about 1500 to 1600 ml. Next is the functional residual capacity, FRC, which is the sum of ERV and RV and is about 2100 to 2300 ml. Then, we have vital capacity, VC, calculated by adding ERV, TV, and IRV and is about 4500 to 4600 ml. The total lung capacity, TLC, is the total of VC and RV and is about 5600 to 5800 ml. Notably, a healthy person can inspire or expire approximately 6000 to 8000 ml of air per minute. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for NEET. Thank you.